Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of Classic Automotive Services. I hope everyone's enjoying this lovely weather that we've got. We sure are. It's perfect for especially what we've been doing this week. So we've got the Wolseley out in the sun after it's been polished, just to have a good look around it. So it's getting dusty already. So it's all now polished and looking absolutely spectacular compared to what it was. And we're now ready to do the final assembly. It's all polished up and we've started cleaning up all the trims. Got the roof trims on. I want to put them on first as they're probably going to be the hardest of the whole lot to put back on. We started putting the rear trims back on and cleaning everything up. So we're hoping to have this car pretty much finished by the end of the weekend. Can we do it? Possibly. If not, it'll be just a couple of days next week to finish it off. But hopefully by the end of Sunday, the car will be back in one piece and near enough ready to go back. I will have to mask it up and do the stripe on the side, which I need that. I need the car in one piece to do that, so the stripe's nice and straight. Everything's painted for it now. The doors, bonnet and boot, all done. They just need polishing. The bottoms of the doors did end up stripping them back to bare metal because they had some rust and that coming through on them. So we stripped the bottoms of the doors back to bare metal, rust treated it, and prepped and painted them. So we've got a lot of parts to clean up for it, which means a lot of hours because everything's in this quite nasty state. Gasket's not too bad, that'll clean up. As you can see, they're right manky. Can't put them back on looking like that. So if you look at all the lenses, you've got a lot of grime all ingrained into the letting on the lenses. So it's a lot of hours cleaning everything up for this car. There's a lot of bright work and a lot of trims to go on it. So we're going to get it in a little while and crack on with it, and hopefully get it done. So tomorrow I think it's going to be quite a long day. In fact, I know it's going to be a very long day because we've also got a tiny bit of welding to do inside the boot, which the customers asked us to do. We're also going to jack it up, bleed the brakes, because the brakes, they work, but the pedal's a little tiny bit spongy. There's no leaks or anything, it's just not 100%. So we're going to change the brake fluid and service the brakes as well. So like I said, it's going to be a long weekend, I think. It's Saturday today. It's actually Saturday afternoon. So we are going to push on with it over the weekend, and we're also going to do another video on Monday to see how far we've actually got with it, which I hope it's going to be nearly finished. We'll have to see. So we'll give a little bit of a quick walk round of it so you can see it. So when it's jacked up on it's on stands, that's when we'll clean all the wheels up because they're covered in muck and dirt and everything else. It's not paint; they're not paint or overspray or anything on them. It's just bodywork, dust and grime. So the customer is actually sorting out his own interior. We're not doing that for him. He's in the process of getting the seats and everything sorted out for it. So we're just doing the external, making it so it's mechanically good. So we've got to still put the windscreen back in as there's no screen in it, which it's not a big job, but it's a bit of a nerve-wracking job sometimes, especially with some of these new rubbers. Sometimes they're a bit tight and it feels like you're going to crack the screen, but we won't do that, I'm sure. So we'll get it all sorted out, and then we're going to have to give the engine bay a bit of a clean up as well. Just to get rid of the polish residue. We're not going to clean it all up and make it look absolutely spick and span. We'll just get rid of the polish residue. It was sheeted up, but some of it did creep in there, so that's got to be cleaned out. But out in the sun, it is looking very nice and shiny. It will need a final polishing once it's all back together, just with just a hand polish, just to get rid of all any fingerprints now on it where we're fitting it up, because you're bound to get some fingerprints and bits and bobs and that on it. So it's looking absolutely well, a million times better than what it did when it first came in. So we've got the Stag sat in there, the green one. That's we're actually going to have a bit of a rearrange in a minute and sort out some room, because we've got another Stag coming in tomorrow as well. That's coming all the way up from Essex with a suspected water pump failure. It's making quite horrible noises, so we'll have a look, see what that is, and we'll diagnose it. If it is a water pump, it's not too much of a job to do. I've done a few of them now, so that's not too hard to do. Hopefully it is that, because if not, then it's not going to be great, well, for the customer anyway, with the engine wise. But hopefully there's nothing seriously wrong with that. We've also got another Stag coming in, which is local to us, just down the road. That's either coming either tomorrow or Monday. I'll have to confirm with the customer. That's mainly just reassembly on that one, as he has had it a number of years. He's had it painted, and it's been painted a while. He's had some work done on the engine, and I went over there in the week and we've got it up and running, and it runs quite nicely. It does want a little bit of work, but it does run okay. But the whole car is basically stripped. The only thing it's got on the car is bumpers, because he had them re-chromed and he fitted them back on the car just to keep them safe. But other than that, the car is stripped, so it's a full reassembly job. Other work we've got planned coming in, which I'm going to confirm in a week, is we've got a very rare car. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but it is of the TR range. It is a very rare car, and it is the only one in existence. So that's coming in to have basically a full rebuild. Get ready for I think it was the 50th anniversary, the customer said, of what it was. It would get it ready for that. The customer's a very well known guy in the Triumph TR world, and again, once the car's here, I'll then disclose who it is and what it is. But we're quite excited about doing that one, and we're really lucky to be given the opportunity to do it. So we feel quite privileged to be able to be involved with that one. So we've got new tyres on the green TR as well now. We've got a set of block lids on it. So the original tyres on it, they're old, out of date, and it was quite what's the word? Exciting to drive, I think is the best way to put it. With the power and everything it's got now, it was very sketchy, especially if it was a little bit damp. So we've gone for block lids. One, because I have spoken to Julian Mazub at Blockley in person. I've seen him down at Goodwood and things like that, and I've spoken to him, and he actually races on Blockleys. He runs the company. They're his tyres. He puts so many hours of development into his tyres. It's unreal. They've got quite a nice classic tread pattern. If you can look at the back one, if you come down and just look at the back tyre, if we look at the tread pattern, it's got quite a nice sort of classic period tread pattern on it, and they are also V-rated, which is more than ample for this TR7, and they also have extra stiff sidewalls on them, which is great because you can then run the tyre presses as they should be, back down to standard. As with the more modern tyres, we've always found that, especially the front ones, if you have them set at the standard PSI rating, I think this was 27 PSI, like 26, can't remember what it is without looking it up. They look a bit flat. They look a bit flat. The steering's quite heavy. It's not great with the modern tyres because the tyres aren't made up the same way. But the Blockleys, they've got extra stiff sidewalls. They've got nice rounded sidewalls, and they're of a period looking tyre, but they're a more modern rubber compound, so they grip like no tomorrow, and it has totally transformed the handling on that car. It really has. So that's sorted out, and Julian and done at Blockley done us a really good deal on 4 tyres for that. So we can't thank him enough. He's done a cracking deal. So if you do want period tyres for your car, get in touch with us, and because we can offer some decent rates for them, as he's doing us some good deals, and we can't recommend them tyres enough. They are exceptionally good. If you want to go better again, you're going to be looking at full racer tyres, like a track day tyre. But for the road, for fast road use, they're the way to go. So I think that pretty much wraps up this week. Oh no, it doesn't. That's what I was going to mention. I had a comment on YouTube on the video last week about painting the car all in pieces. Will it have colour differences and things like that? Well, the answer is no, it won't. Especially on a dark solid colour like this, it's a very easy colour to match. It's all been painted within a few days of each other, and also it's all been done from one batch of paint. It was stirred thoroughly every time, so there will be no differences in colour. The reason it wasn't painted in one piece is because I wanted to do all the door shuts and the boot shut, bonnet shuts, areas that you can't get to when the car is in one piece. If it was something like the green TR, then yes, that has to be painted in one piece, ideally, because it's a high metallic and it's quite a pearly colour as well. So if you painted that all in separate pieces, there is a chance that you will have colour difference on that. It doesn't matter if you do it in the same day or whatever, it can make a difference. Every time you spray a metallic or a pearlescent, the metallics and the pearls will lay different every time you spray it. So you couldn't paint one panel on that car and expect it to match the next panel. You will have to blend it and fade it through the next panel. But that's how we done that one when we painted it. We painted all the door shuts and the backs of the panels first. We then masked that up, assembled the car, and then painted the car in one piece. It was then taken apart again to be flat and polished. So it all depends on the colour. So if you're painting something like this, where it's solid dark colour, you'll get away with it every time, painting it in pieces every single time. If it's something metallic and pearly like the green TR, then no, you have to do it in one piece. So I hope that sort of cleared that up. And if anyone tells you any different than that, well, either take your car to someone else who knows what they're doing, or have a look at their work and see if it does match, because if you know what you're looking at, it probably doesn't. So I think that is it for this week. We're going to now rearrange the cars and get this in, get it set up so we can start putting it back together. And we will see you Monday, and we will see how far we got, whether it's finished or not. So enjoy your weekend, and we will see you Monday. Please like and subscribe.